Yo, what is up guys? How you doing today? This is Arta. I'm not streaming at the moment, I'm just recording. I've never done this actually, so I'm gonna do a Gwen tier list for this season. And I've decided to make a video while I'm doing the tier list so I can explain why and where I put the champions and talk a little bit about it. So without further ado, let's get into it. So aatrox, I don't know if I should put him like kinda hard or skill matchup, kinda easy. It's all around here. I would say it's a skill matchup, so you should be able to win this matchup if you're better than the opponent, and you should lose it if you're worse than the opponent. Although this matchup can be really snowbally and the jungler can decide it. If you die once to jungle, then I would put it like really hard, but because you can't really do much if he has prio. So I would put him in a skill matchup if no jungle comes. And this is one of my favorite matchups. I love to lane versus akali. Basically, she has everything to counter Gwen. I don't know if I should put her here or here. I would put her here because I haven't been struggling with her as much. So, I mean, nothing much to say. Akali is just a lane bully. She has stealth which counters Gwen. She has 10 dashes to counter Gwen. Basically, pre-6 trading, she can just your EQ and then win the trade completely, maybe even killing you. Has so much more damage than you, can keep poking you, and then after 6 she can just destroy you and use her dashes to dodge all your skill shots. She doesn't even have to dodge all of them. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Camille, I would say kinda easy. She's pretty strong at the moment, so she could be moved up a tier, but I rarely lose this matchup. It could get really hard if jungle comes again. She has very good setup and Gwen is pretty easy to gank, but I'd say this is kind of an easy matchup. I rarely lose it. Basically all you need to do is get to 6 and not get outplayed by Rar, and you should be good to go. Cho'gath, not much to say about this. He's pretty free matchup. You should not be losing to this. He can be kind of hard early-ish, but after 6 he's just too free. Just do not fight him pre-6 and you will see what I mean. Alright, so Darius, I would put him in skill matchup. So a really good Darius can deny you and make this matchup kind of impossible early, but you destroy him at one item, and I'd say it's a skill matchup. Mundo, probably the freest matchup you can get. Not much to say. He can't literally do anything to you. Just go ignite if you really struggle, although I doubt that. Fiora, I would put her kinda hard. I used to put her like as hard tier as possible, but ever since I started doing like the D-shield second wind setup, I think she's not that hard. I've won a lot of lanes versus Fioras. I have lost a lot of them too, but yeah, just go D-shield second win, wait until 6, and then you have a chance at killing her. It really is all about outplaying her, although I do think if the Fiora is like not making any mistakes, it's not going to be possible to win the matchup, so I'm not gonna put it in a skill matchup. I'm gonna put it in kinda hard. And then we go to GP. I mean, he's kinda easy. Next season, next split though, he's gonna be even weak, so he's probably like really easy. Well, I think this D-shield second wind negates most of his Q poke. You can W his Q, you can W his barrels. Not much to say. At 6 you could probably just stat check him. There isn't really much you can do against your engage, and you can just trade with him with WQE combo constantly. You can't really do much about that except for all in, and then you just win. Garen, I can't really put Garen in the same. Can I put it in the same with Fiora? I mean, yeah, he's kind of hard. I mean, pre-6 he's pretty free. So basically what you do, he Qs onto you, you channel the Q and then you E away. That's how you win trades. But the problem with him is if he takes phase rush, you can never all in because he goes Q, E, procs phase rush, runs away, sustains, and then just does it over and over again, and Gwen has no answer to it. And the more items he gets, the harder it is to deal with him. I had games where I could be so much stronger than him, I would almost kill him in like 1Q auto, and I still couldn't deal with him, just because he would QE, run away with phase rush, and I can't do anything because all you have is a slow, and he's slow immune, right? Gnar, I would say skill matchup, winnable matchup. It's mostly just a farm lane, really. You can kill them if they play bad. I don't think they can kill you if you don't make mistakes, so illaoi, I'd say kinda easy. Can lose this matchup, and if she gets private, it gets really rough, but you should not allow that happen. Just kill tentacles and W her E, and you should be good to go. I usually just WQE into her to bait out her E. If she doesn't E, then I just chill until next W, and if she does, then I either all in or take a better trade. Ooh, Irelia. I have not laned into Irelia in so long. I'd put her in the kinda hard section. So she can be beat, definitely. But I think a good Irelia that doesn't make mistakes can destroy you. Kind of same like Fiora. So basically level 1 she destroys you. I used to cheese them with lethal tempo, but that's no longer a thing, so can't really do much. Once she gets Borg, she's just going to destroy you. She might even be able to dive you, even through tabbies. It has happened to me, so yeah, I would say it's kind of a hard matchup, but you do eventually outscale her in the 1v1. So Jax used to be really hard. I think it's more of a skill matchup nowadays. So the same, he jumps on you with E, you QE away. That's pretty much the matchup. Bait out his E, they fight him when his E is down. After 6 you can all in. It really depends on situation. I even have a video on that matchup. It was last season though, but I think he's much weaker than he used to be last season because of the Vine. So I don't think it's that big of an issue. And you can 1v1 him now. Jayce, again, skill matchup. I think this matchup is impossible if the Jayce is like god tier, but I have rarely seen that, and just take second win, D-shield, QE into him, you usually go even in trades, and then you out-regen him. After 6, bait out his phase rush, E, and then all in afterwards, or just all in on his weapon swap, and you can kill him, or get him really low. It used to be a much harder matchup, but Jayce is in a bad spot. Like, these two champs I'd put much higher if they were in a better spot. Kayle, I'd say kinda hard. It's mostly a farm lane, and she does outscale you. Basically, if she goes fleet plus Swifties, there's nothing you can do to her. You just cannot catch her. Your R does not slow enough, and you just can't catch her, so you're forced to just sit and farm, and she's just sitting and farming. You're both scaling. I mean, you can outperform her in the mid-late game, obviously, but I think she has more potential to carry than a Gwen does, although I do think it's pretty close. Kennen, I guess I'd put him in the kinda hard. Again, second win D-shield versus him helps out a lot. He will make you go low farm in a game. He will bully you, but you can kill him if you bait out his E. And that's pretty much it. I think you can outscale him and outperform him in team fights. Now this one, I guess I'll put it skill matchup as well. I don't know, could I put him kinda easy? I'll put him kinda easy. So Kled, he can be really aggro, but if you survive after level 3, this champion doesn't seem that good. Like, the champion is bad itself. You hard outscale him in both 1v1 and teamfights super hard. So I'd say it's kinda easy. I really don't mind laning versus Kled. Just take bone plating and do not trade with him if you don't have to. after 6 you are able to win. So as long as you don't have a deposit, sorry, not a deposit, a deficit. If you don't have a deficit until then, you should be fine. Build Tabby, it's GG. Lillia, I have no clue why she's here. I have no clue where to put her. I'd say she's kind of easy. You probably just both farm and you ignore her. Although she might be hard. I don't know. I haven't lane versus her. Alright, so this is really easy, I would say. Basically, just farm lane and try to get plates. It's not that easy. I wouldn't put him in free, but he's pretty easy. You can dodge his, if he's like Comet and just spamming on you, just dodge it with W and then go for an EQ, and you will win most of the trades and get him out of the lane. Also, I think trading ulti is really good. Like, you're never gonna kill him, but you can trade ultis, and then if you chunk him as well and then he ultis out, that's like insane. You can get plates, you can get stuff. The matchup's pretty easy. This is free, not much to say. He can't really do anything to you. He can only run. You're gonna out CS him, get plates. Basically, he's a tank and you're Gwen. I'd put this in kinda easy. Wukong, he isn't really hard, especially. I feel like he's kind of a stat checker, and you have more stats than him, you have more damage than him. It can happen that he kills you, that's why I wouldn't put him even lower. He does have a W where he can outplay you, so just watch out for that and you should be fine. Mord, same thing really. On one item you hard destroy him. Pre-6 you can win trades. Basically just Q and E out, and that's pretty much it. W is spells. Do not W before his R because you give him stats, and your W does not follow you to the 6th dungeon. So yeah, just do not W before his R. Preferably don't E before his R because it also gives him like attack speed, but that's less important. This, I hate this matchup. I see people saying that this matchup, and people might disagree with me because he's kind of like a tank, but this champion is just insane. He just withers you and there's nothing you can do. I have not found a way to deal with this champion. He just perma-stacks, and the problem with Gwen is that to harass him she has to Q, and whenever you Q you push the wave, so he gets the wave under tower, he heals, repeat, gets 6, and then he can just stat check you at one point and just wins the 1v1 until you're like full slot. When you're full slot you can probably kill him, but it can get really hard. Ornn, I'd put him like really easy. He's not free. I might put him kind of easy. He's one of the hardest tanks, I would say. He can destroy you early, and he can destroy you at 6. Like, he can almost one-shot you, but you outscale him hard in the 1v1, and you should be able to beat him. Just use your WQE combo, bait out his W, bait out his Q, and then you win trades. And just be careful of jungle and his really strong setup. What I usually do is I don't EQ onto him, I Q him melee range and then I E out because he does the fire. And then if he does not get the auto attack, he doesn't really get that much damage. Poppy, I'd put her a skill matchup. She can destroy you hard early game. She's very, very strong early, but at one point you just outscale her and it's pretty easy. You can W her buckler with grasp. Pretty good W usage, I would say. The only problem I have with this matchup is you are never going to be able to snowball because she R's you away, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, just don't get stunned by her E, and that's pretty much it. Quinn, honestly, kind of easy. I have no clue why people say Gwen's bad into range top. Quinn is pretty easy. I've laned into multiple Quinn 1 tricks, even laned into Baus FFS playing Quinn, and I didn't struggle at all. Usually would solo kill them. Just rush tabbies, they can't really do anything to you. They deal like no damage. The only problem is if they roam and then kill your team. Not much you can do about that. But yeah, all in all, it's not that big of a deal. you can catch her too. If she goes like Swifties and fleet, you won't be able to catch her, but you don't really care because her champion sucks after lane. So Renekton, I don't know, I would say skill matchup as well. I don't really struggle with Renekton that much. I'm pretty happy when I see him. There's worse matchups. Just go Ignite, play safe until 6, and then look for an opportunity where his cooldowns are down, all in, and win. It isn't that hard of a matchup, although you can lose it, so I would put it in skill matchup. Riven, definitely really hard. You have to go, you're literally forced to go exhaust just to survive early laning phase. She can still destroy you if she just moves in, baits out the exhaust, and then kills you on next rotation. It's pretty hard because you can't really get away from her. She has so many dashes to the point where she decides when you fight. So if you are stronger, you can't catch her, and if she's stronger, she's just gonna keep killing you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And then she's gonna destroy your whole team. Rumble, I'd put him kinda easy. Nah, let's put him in skill. Rumble, he destroys you pretty hard early, but after 6 it becomes a lot easier. This matchup, basically, again, second Windy Shield, survive until 6, try not to get all in. That's literally all he wants to do, is get a freeze on you, charge up his passive, and then just mow you down with autos and Q. So yeah, just do not push into him. If he gets a freeze on you, try to ask for your jungler, go proxy, just do not feed him, because after 6 you have a very high chance of winning the 1v1 if you play it well. And once you get like Nashers, it just becomes so free. Like, it's so easy to win this 1v1 even if you're behind. So that's why I'll put him here. Sett, kinda easy. All you have to do again is survive at least until 6. He can get really oppressive though. Basically what I do versus Sett is stack Q if possible. If not, just use no stacks Q him, and then E out, and just repeat that. If he uses his W, then W the W, and then go for an all-in or a good trade when his W is down, because you have a really hard time dodging his W early since your E is really high cooldown, although you always want to keep your E to dodge his W if it's up right later in the 1v1s, but definitely an easy 1v1 later. And yeah, Shen, I mean, not much to say, he's pretty free. He can get hard pre-level 6, but after that, it's just smooth sailing. Bonus points for Shen, he ults out and you get played, so I don't know, I love laning versus Shen, it's one of my favorites. I usually get a million towers versus him, and I get so fed, so yeah, like, it's just a bad matchup for him. Now this one, I'd put it kinda easy, honestly. But I don't know where to put this guy. I think he's kinda easy. He can destroy you. Basically, this is... I rarely see a Singe that doesn't just proxy and let me scale, so I don't know where to put this matchup. Usually we both just scale, so the way the matchup is, you just ignore him. He's kind of like Shaco top, you just don't acknowledge his existence, and that's it. You just try to scale, and you do outscale him. So Sion, not much to say, pretty free, he can't do anything to you. This is one of the freest matchups like Mundo. Just W his Q if he uses it in that range. You can E his Q. You have multiple ways of dodging everything. You're a natural counter to this champion. He can just keep dying to you as well, is really good because Gwen loves gold, right? You don't really care how much gold he gets because you're gonna kill him anyway. Like, you kill him in like 1Q later. Okay, you don't actually kill him in 1Q, but you do like 60-70% with a good build, because he stacks HP and you're Gwen. Sylas, he's really easy. I played this matchup both mid and top. I love this matchup. Basically, just go bone plating. Don't trade too much until 6. After 6, it's pretty free because he kidnaps your ulti, but he doesn't have your passive, so your ulti is pretty useless on him. It doesn't really deal damage, and that's like the difference maker. And especially if you go ignite, he just can't do anything. You're just stronger than him. Teemo, I'd say skill matchup. Not much to say. He's really oppressive early, but you just get second wind shield and you survive. You get mercs, and then his blind is not strong enough to deny you, and it's really just about whether or not he can kite you. If he goes swifties though, fleet, he might be kind of hard to catch. At that point you just look for QWE trades, and that's pretty much it. Tryndamere, I've been perma-banning this champ. I've tried everything. I've tried Zhonya's rush, I've tried Zhonya's second, I've tried Tabby, tried swifties, I've tried exhaust. Nothing really helps. In the end, this champion always wins over me. Why? I don't know. His ulti is stupid. He just dives you. It doesn't matter even if you have Zhonya's. He just runs away and then kills you when your Zhonya's is down. And because you buy Zhonya's, you don't have damage to burst him anyway. I mean, this champion is really more about teamwork, whether or not you can shut him and split down. But Gwen has a really bad time dealing with him, and I just ban him. It's just much easier. Urgot, I'd say really hard. Maybe you could win this matchup if you go flash, because they just go ignite, flash, and they E-flash onto you and just one-shot you after 6. And I have not found any counterplay to that. If they do not do that, then it's kind of free. You just, the way I play this matchup, obviously rush Tabby, and then walk up melee range to Q, if they allow me, and then when they E, I E away and dodge it, and then you can win that. But if it's a really good Urgot, he will never miss that E, especially with flash up, and then if he hits the E, it's just a one fight for him, and he can keep pressuring you, and that's pretty much it. Bane, not much to say. If she plays it perfectly, you'll literally never catch her, and she does so much damage. She scales so well. If she never leaves side lane, she's gonna keep being a huge problem to you, and there really isn't much you can do to her. Vlad, it's hard to rate him, but I'd say he's kinda easy. Vlad's pretty easy, I would say. I used to struggle with this matchup, but you just gotta respect the champion. Go D-shield second wind, and get that sustain up, get to 6. After 6 it gets a lot easier. Go ignite as well. You can go either ignite ghost or TP ignite. I think TP ignite is best. You're gonna have a hard time catching him, but you can kind of just keep trading with him. And at some point you're gonna outscale him to the point where he can't do anything. Again, very little interaction. Volibear, I'd say it's kind of hard. Now, this matchup can be really easy, depending on his playstyle and build, but if he goes AP and goes Ignite, he can, like, destroy you. He has a much stronger early game. He can dive you level 6 very easily just on his own, and that's pretty much it. If you can survive until 2 items, it becomes really easy. I don't know if I should put him in skill matchup. There really isn't much skill about this matchup. It's just about survival. But yeah, once you get to 2 free items, it's pretty easy. Yasuo is really hard. Everything in his kit just counters Gwen. He has 10,000 dashes to dodge your Q, to dodge your Rs. He has a shield which you can't proc. You don't have any ways of proccing it. He has such a more stronger early game than you. If you ever get hit by his NATO after 6, you've lost. So you can win if you dodge the NATO, and then also the wind wall for your third ulti, which is most of your damage as well. Now you can definitely beat him if he overextends. Usually the way I try to beat Yasuo's is I let them push, and then when I'm near my tower I try to all in, because then they can't dash through minions, they get tower shot. But yeah, a good Yasuo will never allow that. Sion, I'd put him next to his brother. He's kinda hard, sorry, he's really hard because, well, same thing as Yasuo, he's very slippery. He has Q dash, he has E dash, he has W shield, and his ult is kinda whatever. Usually you're going to dodge that unless he uses it with tornado. But my main issue with Sion is that he uses his E, and then it's really hard to hit him in the E. He's very mobile, and he does a lot of damage. He can destroy you level 1. But with lethal tempo changes, we'll see how it goes. I might move him down a tier. He has been kind of a bad champion, but I've played this matchup from the Sion side and it seemed really easy for the Sion. So, and last, well, there you go. This guy, I don't know what to say. His only damage in lane is his E. You can choose to either E or W it. Alright, so I made a little bit of an oopsie, and the tier list that I made was lacking quite a bit of champions, so I went into another tier list which has all the league champions, and I put in top laners here, so I could do the same thing. I've also done a couple of things. I've moved Fiora a tier up because, well, she deserves to be there for sure, and I've made like enemy and Gwen favorite skill matchups, so I feel like the skill matchup was a little bit cluttered, and I feel like Darius in general is a little bit harder than all of these champions. Jax as well, jayce, maybe Gnar should be here. He's kind of on the edge. He can buy Swifties and be really hard, so all in all, yeah, so I didn't really change that much. I just moved Fiora up a tier and then made these tiers, moved in some of the kind of easy to here, and that's pretty much it. So moving on to Auction, I would definitely put him kind of easy. He's kind of like a Quinn, same thing, build tabby, really hard early D shield second wind, very recommendable, can't lane without it. But once you get to your W, once you get to your ulti, once you get tabbies, he can't really do anything to you. What I do to them, I E really close, use R for slow, so they can't E away, and then I either get their flash or kill them, and that's pretty much it. Now this matchup, horrible, terrible. I'd maybe even put it into dodge or ban. Insanely hard matchup. I played this matchup from both sides. I'm a terrible Cassio. I destroyed the Gwen. Literally, you can't do anything to her. She literally just... She's supposed to be a champion that kites you because you're a melee, but she beats you melee range, so as a melee, what are you supposed to do to her? She is beatable if she makes a ton of mistakes, but yeah, this matchup is just really unplayable. Thankfully nobody plays her, so you shouldn't worry too much about this. Kaylee, I'd say it's Gwen favored, but a skill matchup. You can definitely get solo killed by him, you can definitely lose lane to him, and he is kinda bad right now, but they will buff him, so we'll see how that pans out. I think he belongs here. I've seen even in pro games, Gwen's getting solo killed by Kaylee and the other way around. Usually it's farm lane, and as Gwen you can just chill and farm, so I'll put him right here. Pantheon, I'd say enemy favored skill matchup. Now he will destroy in lane. Again, the shield second wind is your friend. Survive until 6 and then you can beat him. He can outplay you with E, he can play it well, dodge your skill shots, blah blah blah. But essentially, if you play it well, you can kill him 6 and forward. I played versus Spear Shot, and he was not happy, he wanted to lane swap. But then I entered the lane and we lost, as I usually do, because I'm a noob. Anyway, that's my take on the Pantheon matchup. Okay, so Olaf, where would I put Olaf? I would say Gwen favored. Just because I would put him like somewhere here. Just because he is hard, but he gets really easy. Actually, I'll put him here, bro. I'll put him in the enemy favorite skilled matchup. Now he can deny you a lot early, but once you get to 6, you do have to go ignite, obviously. You can beat him. On one item you can beat him, but there is one Exodia thing he can do to you, which is by Hex Drinker. Do not tell this to Olaf and Darius mains. Hex Drinker Rush will destroy you. It will take a long time till you can 1v1 him. Rengar, I'd say, again, enemy favorite skill matchup. You can beat him. He gives you so much pain in the early laning phase, but after that, you just destroy him. One item, tabbies, he can't do anything, but he will make you suffer early game. I've been on the receiving end of getting destroyed by this champion in lane. It can get really hard. Okay, Rise, honestly here, phase rush, they run phase rush. Whenever you try to engage on him with ulti, he's just gonna R away and you're gonna waste your spell. He can basically stalemate the lane, you can never kill him, you can never get ahead, and he can keep poking you, keep getting you out of lane, just root you, run away, have phase rush. Like, you can't catch him, and he can just scale for free. You both scale, but if it's a good Rise, he'll never lose 1v1 to a Gwen. Alright, moving on. This is pretty free. I don't think I've ever lost this matchup. You just Q him, run away, Q him, run away. You don't want to auto him when he's in W form, but thankfully you don't have to do that. Try not to let him proxy, and yeah, it's I don't think I've ever lost that matchup in my life. Skarner. Now, this is something that's really hard for me to rate because I haven't lane versus him much. I've lane versus 2 Skarners and I've destroyed them, but even when I was like 5-0, it was so close. So I don't know where to put him. I'm gonna put him into kinda hard because I do think if the 2 Skarners I laned against played normally, that it would be so much harder. So yeah, I think this is where he belongs. The champion is really stupid, really strong in lane. He can pull you to tower. He can keep throwing rocks at you, and I don't even know what he does. But yeah, I think he belongs there. And Sejuani, so I'd put her in really easy. I wouldn't put her in completely free because she can kill you, she can go ignite and burst you. Mercs are your friend versus her. I think if you buy Mercs, she can never kill you, and you do outscale her, she is a tank. But early game can be kinda rough. Same thing for Tahm Kench. I wouldn't put him free. He can solo kill you, he can get ahead and be really annoying. He will outscale any tank at some point. But, well, there is like one strategy where a Tahm Kench, he can go phase rush and then he can numb you under tower, and it's really stupid. It has like no counterplay. So, yeah, that's why I'm putting him here and not into free. But, yeah, just don't let him pull you under tower and you should be fine. Trundle, honestly, is kinda easy. I used to think this matchup was pretty hard, but a viewer told me just never E before a spiller, and that was the best advice ever. So early laning phase is painful, as it is with all these 3, but after 6 you can kill him, so never W before he Rs you, and never E before he throws the pillar, so you can just E over his pillar and disengage, kite out his ulti, and then you just destroy him. You can go ignite, you can go ghost to kite him, both is fine. Now this, I hate this matchup. I've never won this matchup. I'd put him in kinda hard, just because he's literally just going at you, going at you, going at you, going at you, permanent sustain. You can't kill him. He rushes Kanek and you can never kill him. I've had 3 items. I could not kill him just because he has shields and he's so mobile. Like, he has so much movement speed with Swifties, and he's really hard to hit. A lot of shields. You will outscale him eventually, but he will make you suffer in lane more than anybody else. Okay, Warwick, I'd put him enemy favorite skill matchup. It's not that hard really. You just, versus Warwick, take Ignite and just don't get baited. That's all you have to do. Rush Tabby. Tabby's help a lot versus him because it's most of his damage, and as long as he can't one-shot you, the matchup gets really easy. He will make you suffer early game, as do most of these champions, almost all of them, because you are Gwen. But at one point you just outscale him and it's pretty free. This matchup's pretty easy. Just dodge the Qs. W the Q, the WQE combo, can all in at 6. I've never struggled with this matchup. TF. Oof, I mean, Swifties, Fleet TF, again, like any range top, just too stupid. You can't catch them, and that's really my only issue. By Mercs, because I know he does a lot of auto attacks and you want tabbies, but Mercs are so much better for his CC. And that's pretty much it. You can W his gold card, but if he's smart, he's never gonna let you do that. And then you can run him down, but he can really just port out whenever you ulti. So yeah, he can make your lane a living hell if he plays it well, but he's not impossible. And Zac, wow, we're almost over. Zac, I used to struggle with this matchup a lot, but then I started taking Ignite. I don't think he's that hard. So whenever he Qs you, if he's outside of your W, just press W and he cannot pull you in. Like, they get confused and you just E as E. He can't kill you if you do that. He does not have enough damage. If he has Ignite though, he might be able to kill you, but essentially you outscale. I would never go Grievous Wounds. In fact, I would never go Grievous Wounds versus anybody. I think Gwen values too much from items and AP. So always versus matchup like this, just go Ignite if you want Grievous Wounds. It's a much better option than essentially wasting 800 gold away from your power spike. And that will be all. Thank you for watching, guys, and hope you enjoyed the tier list. If you have something you disagree with, just DM me, we can talk about it. But I think this is pretty sorted out. Maybe some champs could move a tier up or down, but most of it should be pretty correct in my estimate from a million games of Gwen I've played. Anyways, guys, see you.